tax returns out.
Well, there's an enormous amount of public record stuff about his businesses and what he's done historically that should have been part of the primary discussion and not just the general election discussion.
Good debate, guys. I appreciate it.
There are serious new questions arising from the Hillary Clinton email probe about a possible backroom deal between Hillary Clinton's State Department and the FBI. Utah Congressman Jason Chaffetz describes the alleged deal, saying, quote, in return for altering the classification, the possibility of additional slots for the FBI missions overseas was discussed, end quote. FBI denies there was any deal. Former New Hampshire Governor John Sununu, White House Chief of Staff to President George H.W. Bush, and author of The Quiet Man, with me back now. He's in New Hampshire. I'm in Vegas. Governor, the FBI denies this, as I just stated. What does it tell you about what was going behind the scenes in this alleged quid pro quo?
But the FBI acknowledges that that conversation took place. Those two things were discussed in the same conversation, virtually side by side. The FBI can say they weren't connected, but they acknowledge that it did take place. It really shows that over their course of investigating, the FBI came to the conclusion that the Clinton State Department, Mrs. Clinton, operated in a culture of quid pro quo, and they couldn't resist trying to take advantage of this commitment to quid pro quo that the Clintons always operate under. It is, in my opinion, an absolutely damning event that says the FBI understood the sleaziness that was taking place there.
All right, let's listen to Mark Toner just moments ago in this room. Here he is.
So the allegation of any kind of quid pro quo is inaccurate. It does not align with the facts. So there was no quid pro quo. And I would note, first of all, that the FBI, I think this past weekend, put out a statement strongly refuting that there was any kind of quid pro quo.
I mean, so given that statement, Hans, what needs to happen here? Do you do an investigation of the goings back and forth between the State Department and the FBI? Because we need to know what the truth is here.
Yeah, well, listen, the most critical witness in any kind of bribery or obstruction of justice case is the witness who was actually offered the bribe. And it was the witness in this case, the manager of the FBI's record department, who said and used the words, he was offered a quid pro quo. So the most crucial witness is the one who says that's what happened, and that needs to be investigated. The fact the FBI didn't give in to it doesn't mean it's not a crime.
Yeah, and, you know, just saying that it didn't happen in a news conference is not an... What if...
Around. Brett?
Wow. Mike Emanuel.
Between Bush and Gore in 2000, that
one...
Even despite the recount, that America came together. Well, we did.
I think I think if it hadn't been for September 11th, I think that the way that people feel that. I think
that's not true, because they ended up with a lot of President Bush was able to get several pieces of legislation through even before September 11th.
No one is taking anything away from No Child Left Behind. I think you guys
tax cuts.
And they sent me a check. Like it was they sent me a check. I bought a television with it. It was great.
Oh, that helped the economy.
West Virginia roared into first place as soon as I went and bought that television.
You know my point, though, that we do this over and over.
I understand, but my point is there's some crackle in the wire. There's some energy that is dangerous energy that is out there when people feel like the system is rigged and people feel like it doesn't work and they start to question. In 2000, we were